guys? I hope everyone's doing well on this blustery January evening. It is January the 14th right now at the time of this taping. I have no idea when I'll post this. Hopefully soon, maybe tonight. We'll see. Anyway, tonight's video is about my updated truck / get home bag. Now this is a kit I've talked about before. I've done a video on it previously, however I've made some changes to it, so I felt it was worth doing a quick video. As I've mentioned in my prior video, which if you go to my channel you can look up, I basically have a get home bag that I keep in the back of my truck under my back seat, and then I also have a bin that I keep in the box of my truck that has larger items like it's got a hatchet and a full-size tarp and stuff like that, stuff that you need for more specific automotive stuff, I guess. My tow straps, booster cables, all that kind of stuff is in there. And my bag is more of a get home bag. I used to have it in a sort of low-cost 511 backpack that I've had for years, actually, or certainly not 511, LA Police Gear. There are no low-cost 511 backpacks. LA Police Gear pack that I got for like 30 bucks, probably 6-7 years ago. And it's been great. It's held up really well. The only issue with it was a little bigger than I needed, and it would actually stuck out from under the bottom of my back seat. So if anyone was to come poking around my truck and looking at it, they'd be able to see it, and of course you don't want to tempt people. So I moved it into a smaller bag, which I have talked about before. The Hazard 4 Evac Plan B. I've got a preview and a review video on this, and at that time I mentioned that this was going to be my new get home bag, and so it is. So this video is going to be about this bag, not all the rest of the stuff in my truck, but specifically this component of my truck kit, the get home bag. So without further ado, let's take this thing to the coffee table / tabletop and dive right in here. Alrighty then, so as you can see, I have here the Hazard 4 Evac Plan B with a little modification to it. So we'll start with that. Probably the first thing you'll notice, obviously, is the orange that's on here. I just took off the regular zipper pulls they had. They were just a sort of a coyote brown, matched the ATACs on here, and I threw on some high-vis orange. The zipper pulls actually have reflective tracers in them, so these can be visible at night. So if I end up walking along the highway and I want to be seen at night, I can leave these on. If for whatever reason things are really bad and I don't want to be seen, I'll just cut them off, no big deal. So I did that, and then on the grab handle here I threw on a Cobra weave of about 10 feet of just another blaze orange paracord here. Just if I were to throw this thing down in the ditch, I'll be able to see it, no problem, and retrieve it. And then I guess the other big thing you'll see is I got this strapped to the side. This is my gear pods, and I can't recall if I've talked about these before or not, but I'll go through these quick. It's a kit that I bought a couple years ago, and you can order these online through Gear. I guess it's gearpods.com. I think is the that's probably the best place to get them. That's, at least at the time that I got them, that was the best place I could find straight through Gearpods. And basically it's a modular system where you can buy all kinds of different survival kits. This one is a 3-container system. I'll take it out of the bag here, of course, give you guys a better idea. And you can buy it with these MOLLE kits. This is obviously MOLLE compatible. It's not just the compression straps that are holding on here. It is there is a strip of MOLLE down this side, so it's MOLLE to the bag, and then I just got the compression straps for extra compression on there to hold it nice and snug. You can get in black in the ACU like this, and I'm not sure what other colors I have now, but anyway, inside, which is the important part, you pull it out, and it's a series of basically tubes that you connect together, and you can put as many and as few as you want. You can make this thing 10 feet long if you really wanted to. I don't know what you'd do with it, but you could. And there's the 3 different sizes: XL, regular, and large. And so basically the way I have mine set up right now in these 3 containers, this first one here is my fire kit. This is basically all my fire making supplies. I have a fire steel, a bunch of stormproof matches in here, some homemade fire starters I've done. It's just the mini cupcake papers, wrappers, sorry, get that in frame there, with wax, some lint, and I think these ones even have some wood shavings in them as well. So a few of these burn for about 20 minutes once you get them going, so pretty handy. A whole bunch of jute twine, which is right now my favorite tinder, and a small bic, some wet fire, and then a few more homemade pack of, what do they got, 5 or 6 basically fire discs in here, which is just the wax impregnated cotton pads, and then right at the bottom there a whole bunch of lint as well. So I got a few forms of combustion in there, along with about 3 or 4 ignition sources. So fire, I think I'm set under most circumstances. If I can't get a fire going with this, I am in a world of hurt. Let's put it that way. So there's the fire kit. In the small container here, I have a SOL small bivy bag. This is the one-person emergency bivy, and this actually came with my gear pods. The fire starting did not. I ordered an empty pod for that, but this came with. And then in the last pod that I'll show you here, the extra large, this came with as well, or most of it. This is my cook kit for my get home bag here. So a small aluminum cup or pot with just some fiberglass around it there as an insulator so you can grab it. Lid, sort of a sippy lid, take it off. This folding spork that came with, sorry guys, I'm not putting anything in frame here. Just a cheapo spork, but it fits there nicely. And a windscreen that came with. That all came together, along with, once I get that in there, this really small ultralight pot stand. It's got these fold out legs, so it's actually really nice and stable, and a really tiny alcohol stove. And I've tried this out. I fill this with alcohol. You get maybe 2 ounces alcohol in there, and that'll boil that cup of water no problem. It also works with SBIC cubes. I've done that as well, so it's kind of a 2 fuel source stove, and it works really good. Really light, all aluminum, lightweight. It's really great. And then I just threw some 2 full-size SBIC cubes in here as well. So I got my cooking covered for my get home kit. And then just in the outside pouch of the gear pods container here, I also have some aqua tabs for purifying water if needed. The top little pouch here, I don't have too much right now. I got a whole bunch of nitrile gloves. These I actually have used before, not these particular ones, but I seem to have a bad knack of coming across car accidents, and being that I am trained as a first responder and first aid and that kind of stuff, I tend to stop and get out and help when I can. So I always got gloves, because you never know what the other people have, and there's blood all over the place usually at those things. So nitrile gloves, and then I have this Petzl E-Light. This is probably the smallest headlamp you can get. It is tiny, 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 but works really well. And again, this is, like I said, this is a kit that's going in the truck and may never ever be used, so I'm not too worried about this. I have another sort of high quality headlamp, or higher quality headlamp, but this, I mean, if I never take it out of the bag, I'm not worried about it. It wasn't that expensive, but if I need it, I have it. It's got a few modes here: red, strobe, another strobe with 3 LEDs, then or high, and medium or low, I guess. So for something this small, it's got quite a few functions on it, and it works really well. Plus a little whistle right on the lanyard here. So there's a light source plus a signaling source. This pocket here, I have a Uniden FRS GRS radio here. This is preset to the channels that the radios that I keep at home are on as well. We have 3 of these, and then actually we have another 2 in another set, all set to the same channel. So if for some reason I can't get home, landlines are down, God forbid cells go down, we have this, and from my place of work, this won't quite reach home, but once I hike a few K, this will reach my house, and I'll be in contact with my family, hopefully. Just one of those long burning emergency candles in case I got to overnight it somewhere. It's always nice to have a light source, plus a little source of heat, but mainly for the light. And sanitizer, of course, for sanitizing, washing yourself, and another fire starter. I have my Victorinox, I think this is the Hunter one-handed opener. So basically this is the folding knife I keep in here, plus it's kind of a multi-tool. Obviously it's got a couple drivers, can opener, tweezers, an awl, saw, backup a smaller blade. So handy little tool to have, of course, as well as being a knife. Sharpie, and what do I got in here? Oh, some spare AA batteries. I think that's about all I got in here. Now into the main pouch, where the bulk of the goodies are, I guess you'd say. Open that up most of the way. Up here I just have a couple N95 masks. I mean, nowadays you just never know. I mean, this obviously isn't a respirator. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's better than nothing. Especially if you're going, it happens to be a dusty environment, if we have a dust storm here in the summer, anything, major collision where there's lots of smoke, it's definitely better than nothing. Hey guys, sorry about that. Like I said, I got a new camera for Christmas and I'm still learning about it, and apparently that memory card was full, so just swapped out the cards and we will continue here. As I was about to say, small first aid kit, just some gauze, a few trauma pads, bandages, alcohol wipes, some medical tape. This little kit here has tweezers and needles and thread and a few things like that, so it can be used for repairs or for some minor injuries. I think there's even nail cutters, stuff like that in there. So just a small medical kit. I have another medical kit in my truck, I think I've shown before, so that's just a very minor one. And this get home bag is basically anywhere I am. If I'm in the city that I live in, I'm not too far from home. At most I'll have to overnight one night. I mean, if it's really, really bad and for whatever reason I got to be really stealthy getting home, maybe two. So that's what this kit is designed for, to get me through about 48 hours tops. I have a bag of food here. This is all lightweight, high calorie stuff, some granola bars, a couple things of ramen noodles, and then some hot drinks, some tea packs, hot cocoa, some coffee, stuff like that. Just some stuff to get you through, enough calories to get you through 2 days or so. Another source for purifying water, I got a Frontier emergency filter here, keeping it in the container. I think actually I'll probably take it out of this and vacuum seal it, that way I know it's going to be good. No matter how long I keep it in the bag, it'll keep it dry and moisture and air away from it, and it should be good almost forever then, if I don't use it. Some TP, I mean, if you're gone on the road for 2 days, you're going to need this. A Sol survival blanket, one of the heat sheets. Again, just another way to, a little bit of shelter and a way to keep warm if you're out there overnight. And again, I live in the city, so chances are I'll be able to find shelter indoors somewhere if I absolutely have to. But if I can't, or if I happen to be on the highway when something happens, it's good to have shelter. Between the bivy bag and this, I'm pretty good. Not to mention in my truck, like I said, I have a full-size tarp, wool blankets, stuff like that too. Some insulated, because I do live in Canada and it does get cold here, insulated full leather gloves. I can wear these summer or winter, and of course they protect your hands, which excuse me, your hands are key. If you for some reason lose use of your hands, you are in a world of hurt. I think that's pretty obvious. A small 500 ml Nalgene bottle that I can use to fill transport water in, and then even if it's dirty, then I could just use the Aquamira straw to drink out of this, as well as if it's not too bad, as in sedimenty, I can just throw some of those aqua tabs in there to purify, or both. And then my primary blade, I guess, would be for this kit is the Cold Steel GI Tanto which I modified a little bit. You can see I took the handle scales off, put a paracord wrap on there, a bit of a lanyard, and then I stripped their Tough X coating, which kind of blows, and re-blued it, sharpened it. So it's I mean, it's an inexpensive knife again, which is perfect because I may never, other than this video, pull it out of this bag. So I have no problem just throwing in this bag and leaving it there. If you have the money, you want to throw a higher quality knife, a $100 knife, absolutely be my guest. But I'm not in the financial situation where I want to spend $100+ on a knife that I will never ever be able to use. Because like I said, stuff that goes in this bag, I don't plan on taking out unless I absolutely need it. Because if I do take it out, chances are I'm going to forget to put it back, and then when I do need it, of course, it won't be there. So there's that. And then, of course, a shemagh, again, warmth, covering your face for particulates, all kinds of things. Covering your identity if you need. Of course, a million uses for that. And then I got 50 feet of paracord here right in the package to make sure that, again, I don't use it unless I absolutely need it. So that about covers it, guys. That's everything I have in here for now. Oh, wait, I lied. I forgot that there's a hydration pocket in the back here, and I do not have any hydration in it, but I did put something, if I recall. Yes, I did. Just a map of my local area, paper map. Of course, I have maps loaded on my cell phone, but if I lose batteries or anything like that, I got that paper map. And then a couple zip ties, and these are kind of pre-set up, 2 together. I think it's pretty obvious what that's for. If things get really bad, people may need to be restrained for whatever reason. So I can use these as zip ties, or they can be used as restraints for the 2-legged sort of bad things. So I got a few of those in there. These are the really heavy duty ones. Once someone's in those, they are not getting out till someone cuts them out of those. But anyway, guys, that is about it. That is my get home bag as it stands. And again, of course, like all of you guys, I'm always learning new things, so I am constantly modifying it, adding things, taking things away. So I would greatly appreciate if you have any comments. Let me know what you think. If it's good, if it's bad, if there's things you think I'm blatantly missing in here that I should add, let me know. And again, like I said, I do have that other separate kit in the back of my truck where I have stuff for the vehicle: jumper cables, tow cables, blankets, tarps, hatchets, all the bigger items, that shovel, stuff that people keep in their vehicles for emergencies. That I have in the vehicle as well, so don't worry about that. This is just the stuff that I'm going to grab and go if I got to ditch the vehicle and I'm, say, within 25 miles of home, and I'm going to hoof it on foot. I'm grabbing this and I'm taking off. Anyway, guys, trying to keep it quick here, so let me know what you think. And guys, take care. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.